Inferno B site is easy to get overwhelmed on. If you lose banana control and you're forced to fall back, knowing the right positions to play is crucial to giving your teammates time to rotate and purely just holding the site against a barrage of pushing Ts. Hey guys, my name is Fire, and today I'm going to be talking about how to hold Inferno B site like Astralis. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And of course, as always, if you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be going over a couple things. First of all, how to hold against ecos, and then defaulting on full buys and what to do if you're the only teammate on your site because your other teammate dies early. So first, let's start with probably the easiest strategy, holding against ecos. This is a good strat that Astralis have used plenty of times, and it's ideal to use after you've nade dumped most of your utility on banana, just so you can find a few more kills easier and separate the Ts. All you really have to do is get one teammate behind another, like the setup Glaive and Xyp9x have here. This setup is great because no one really pre-aims this, especially in lower ranks. Most players are just going to overcommit right into the both of you, and when they try to trade, they're not going to be on that good of guns and should hopefully not kill either one of you, but at most one of you will die and the other will fall back to site. And of course, this is ideal against ecos because you're going to have a massive weapon advantage, as I just said. Against force buys, probably not so great as you could easily get overwhelmed, but rather than just sitting back on the site or in CT against an eco and risking getting overwhelmed against a ton of pistols just running at you, this allows you to take longer range gunfights and ideally at least get a few kills, and if one of you die, the other can just play passive and stall time for your A players to rotate. Of course, if you do this strategy more than once, you're gonna risk Ts starting to be more aware of it, which is why for the next strat, which is Astralis' main default against buy rounds, it's also not a bad strategy to use when you know the Ts are on eco rounds. So now, let's talk about that. This strat just requires you to have a player spotting banana from coffins by shoulder peeking and communicating if they hear anything, and another player sitting towards first oranges with a smoke out, ready to stall if Ts decide that they're going to rush. I often see a lot of players wanting to sit in CT instead of close on site in a situation like this. And if you do this, you're first of all probably going to get smoked off 100% of the time, and after you get smoked off, you'll either have to spam it and hope to get a kill while your teammate just has to deal with 5 Ts rushing him on the site and completely focused on him, who will probably just lose the site instantly. So it's overall a bad play most of the time, and you really don't usually want to play from CT. It's usually just better to play with 2 people on site and not 1 in CT, so you're able to stall a ton of time with nades for your A players to rotate, and of course be able to help your teammate on the site. So overall, just know that at B, it's important to have one player spotting so you don't get overwhelmed. Managing your smokes and mollies is essential to giving your teammates time to rotate, and don't feel like you have the need to take banana control every round, especially in lower ranks. Like, you really don't need banana control that often. Sitting back on the site works fine if you manage your nades and play off your teammate, and don't just sit in CT and get smoked off every round. And once again, seeing the Ts as soon as possible so you can stall them back with smokes, mollies, flashes, whatever it is ideal to holding B as well, and just giving your teammates time to rotate. And now, the final strat that I want to talk about is how to stall time for rotations if your teammate at B dies early. If you hear the Ts running up off B off an early kill they get, the first thing you want to do is always tell your teammates to rotate, as they can't just mind read. They aren't going to insta-rotate just because one B player dies. They need to get to B as soon as possible so they could help you while you're stalling time. After that, doing something like mollying close to separate the push and be able to take one-on-one fights like Xyp9x does here is another good strategy. Throwing a smoke close in front of yourself can also give you more room to work with to reposition on the site, and flashes can stall even more time and help you get more kills to Ts who are just haphazardly running up. After you use all your nades, all you really have to do is hide and stall as much time as possible so your teammates can rotate. Xyp9x pretty much does this by hiding behind the smoke and sitting in a corner at second oranges, and with the amount of time he stalled by throwing smokes, mollies, flashes, pretty much his entire team is rotated, and the Ts can't really get on the site. So Xyp9x just using his nades on site and managing to stay alive this whole time really makes it hard for Fnatic to have any advantage here, and eventually they just get overwhelmed by the Astralis players coming in through CT and don't really have anything they could do. So overall, using mollies, smokes, and flashes to help you reposition and stall time for your A players to rotate is absolutely ideal if you want to hold B and not be forced into a retake most of the rounds. But besides that, that pretty much wraps it up for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and if this video helped you with your B site hold on Inferno, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, feel free to join the Discord, which will be linked in the description as well. But besides that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.